The Naked Gun Trilogy, 1988, 1991, 1994. As a kid, I watched the first two movies a million times and laughed out loud constantly, and was just a massive fan of those two movies. I think when the third movie was released, I was slightly too old to be watching it a million times, although I do think I did watch it a bunch. But I was never a massive fan of number three. It was a definite step down from the first two. And over the decades, I have watched the series probably, say, once every 5 years, and over the decades, what was once hilariously funny becomes just mildly funny or amusing. So anyway, I watched the movies again, and I thought the first two movies were consistently amusing, and I did laugh out loud a few times, actually probably more than a few times throughout the first two movies. They are fairly amusing, fairly funny. That might sound like very faint praise, but considering I have seen these movies a million times and they are quite old, the fact that they still hold up enough to be still amusing after all those viewings is actually not faint praise, that's actually quite high praise. So I think the first two movies are definitely good movies. If you've never seen them before, I think you would find them to be hilarious, but having seen them too many times, they're just now mildly amusing. I would say the second movie's slightly more broader, and I think it just, and I also think the plot's slightly better in the second movie, so I prefer the second movie just slightly over the first one. And then you come to the third movie, which just is quantifiably the weaker movie. It's just got weaker jokes, a weaker plot, a weaker script, weaker acting. It's just, there's also the tone is just slightly off. The comic energy just isn't quite there anymore. It's a little more contrived, it's just less convincing, it just doesn't quite add up. It is a very short movie. My PAL DVD is only 72 minutes, excluding end credits, so that is a very brief movie at a mere 72 minutes. So the third movie is definitely the weakest of them by some distance. So I would give the first movie 6 out of 10, the second movie 6 out of 10, and the third movie 5 out of 10. The third movie is perfectly watchable, it's fairly amusing throughout. There are a few mild laughs here and there. I did laugh out loud, just small mild laughs a few times in the third movie, whereas in the first and second movie I did laugh out loud, these mild small little laughs quite a few times. So it's certainly, if you have never seen the movies before, I think you would like them a lot more, but on the millionth viewing, a lot of their impact has been taken away, has been lessened from all those extra viewings. So order of best to worst, I would say, is 2, then just down a quarter of a notch the first movie, and then down a good 2 or 3 notches the third movie. But the third movie is perfectly watchable and it is far from bad.